The Marketing Funnel Strategy Show. More leads. More sales. More predictability.
Introducing Jared Hyman, sales and marketing expert. Introducing Serena Carly, marketing and outsourcing expert.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Marketing Funnels and Strategy Show. Today, we're going to be talking, is marketing as simple as what people make it out to be? And I'm here with the wonderful Serena as well. Say good day to everyone, Serena.
G'day everyone, how you going?
Everyone is just responding to you right now saying, yep, doing amazing. So, Serena, we're going to have a bit of a frigging debate today, all right? We're going to have a bit of a debate, right?
I love debating you.
Hey?
I love debating you.
Yeah, okay. Let's bring on a little bit of a debate time with this particular one then, because, I mean, let's face it. Everyone's not only watching us, they're watching other people out there. There's so many different marketing people. Everyone's talking about marketing. And look, at the end of the day, right, there's a lot of people that are just going and doing these $500 and $1,000 courses and starting a marketing agency or putting themselves as a marketing expert, so to speak. So let's just have a bit of a debate about this today as well, Serena. And I mean, we've been in the game for quite a while now of marketing, specifically on social. And I've done a fair bit of Google stuff in the past, and we've toyed a little bit in the LinkedIn game. I've got some thoughts around LinkedIn and stuff like that as well. So let's get in and debate it a little bit. You tell me, right? Is marketing simple?
No. And that's because before I got to where I am today, I did a lot of stuff to sort of learn. I mean, I thought I was pretty proficient in knowing what I had, set out in my task to learn. So I did a lot of courses around marketing, a lot around SEO, a lot around Facebook, social media. Facebook was sort of seemed to be the easiest, but turned out to be the hardest because, yes, you could go in and Facebook will show you how to set things up. But the bottom line is, unless you really know the intricate details of how Facebook works, you can go in and say, for example, do Facebook ads, and you will pay for those ads. And if you're not a knowledgeable person at knowing what you're doing, the amount you will pay for those ads will be quite high. In comparison, say, I've seen a difference sort of when you do ads and you know how to get it down to the lowest cost possible. And yet if I did those same ads myself, I would be paying the higher amount because I know all the ins and outs of it, but I'm just not quite that point yet to know how to tweak it like you do, for example. So that's the secret, I think, to the Facebook is, you want to get as many leads as possible, but you don't want to be paying high amounts for it.
And what's a high amount? What do you think a high amount is for a lead?
Well, I always like it when I hear you talk about cents per lead, but then it depends on the value dollar of your lead. So for example, if it's a high, say it's a high paying ticket or something like that, and that person could be coming to a function that's worth $3,000, $4,000. So I know sometimes you can get a lead paying up to $70 for a lead. Or you might get it down to $30 for a lead or $20 for a lead. I don't know if those ones would go down as far as cents under the dollar, but then the other ones for a product that's, $27 to $99 or something, you get them down to 2, 3, 4, 5 cents per lead. That's pretty cool, especially if you get lots of them.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and it's not as simple as just setting up an ad these days, right? Like, if you look at any corporation today as well, right? Like we talk, like we've got ads down as, as low as a few cents per lead. We've got ads down as low as like 20, 30 cents per lead. Like that's actual, name, email, contact number type marketing, right? And, we've also had campaigns that have generated leads for $150, and that was in the early days, right? Where you didn't really understand strategy when you first started, right? There wasn't a lot of people teaching it back in 2014 when I started properly, and you kind of tune a system in over time, right? And I think systems is something that's used pretty, like, I think loosely today, to be able to say to someone that, I've got a system that helps you generate leads, but it's like, hey, does that system translate across to my industry? Does it translate across to another industry and all these types of things, right? It normally doesn't, does it, right? Like some people, I had a conversation with one of my good friends last night, right? Runs a very successful personal development company. And, he was saying that, there's a lot of people that understand a little bit of marketing, but they lack the strategic thinking that's needed to be able to, when things aren't going well, to turn it round into a profitable campaign again. And he gave me an example where he had this funnel that he was running for months and months and months and months and months and months. And it was highly profitable. He was doing like 25, 30 grand a week through this funnel, right? Absolutely dominating it. That's without no back sells, back end, anything like that. And he said one day, right, that offer just died. And he was gone from, sort of $5, $10 a lead through to like $70, $80, right? And then all of a sudden it just stopped converting altogether. And this is the challenge a lot of people will have. And this guy, he spends a few $1,000s a day on ads as well, right? So, in terms of comparison, he's spending several $1,000s a day on ad campaigns, which is a completely different strategy, by the way, as opposed to $10, $20. Because the challenge people have is when they scale to that level is that how do you maintain the same cost per lead? How do you maintain the same cost per acquisition of a client that a lot of people just don't understand? And when it comes to sort of turning an ad account around from something that's, that's just struggling big time and isn't generating anything to turning it into something that is, once again, highly profitable for a business. I have a question, Serena. Out of all the platforms, what ones do you like the best and why?
So we're talking about between LinkedIn, Instagram, I guess Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook. It has to be Facebook. And the reason being is you get to write a lot more on Facebook. I find social media doesn't have a lot of content on it. You're targeting to if you did Facebook ads, it's very articulate in how it gets you to select who you want it to do. And when you really know how to do that well, you can really fine tune it. LinkedIn, I had a bad experience with them a few years ago, so it sort of put me off advertising on there, and quite often you don't always get the target that you're looking for.
Paid ads you're talking, or you're talking like? Paid
ads, and just a normal posting, and that I don't particularly like it for that anyway, because everybody just hits on you to want to throw this stuff at you straight away. They're not interested in building a relationship first, and it's very important to build a relationship. Twitter is just full of punks.
Let's stop on that before I forget. Come on, relationships. How important are relationships?
Well, that's number one in my book, building customer relationships and building customer service, So it's really important that you understand your client, you understand their behavior, you understand who they are as a person, how they operate as a person as well, so you can relate to them in the same way that they will understand. And looking after them.
Important though, why is relationships important though? Just like, is it just to understand people or?
No, you want people to invest money into your business, into you, into what you do. You want to make sure that they get the best value for it. So therefore, they have to feel important. They have to feel like you're not just a number or a dollar sign to them. And a lot of people make you just feel like, like here at the moment in Bali with the hospital, you're a patient sick in a hospital. All they're caring about is making sure you pay up front, and they itemize and charge for every single thing. You're not a person to them at all. So, it's really, really important that, people feel special when they're doing something with you, not just, and that goes with everybody, everybody has to sort of feel like that. So that's why relationships and customer service, both of them together, and they're probably the same sort of thing anyway, are most important.
No, I agree. I'm just looking for a debate, a topic where we could kind of disagree a little bit. The problem is I think we're on too much of the same page. So I'm trying
what do you think about LinkedIn? I don't like
LinkedIn. To fight with you a little bit here, like I want to see people see a live fight so we can get the boxing gloves out and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I didn't bring my boxing gloves, but I could probably like just wrap my thing around like this, and then we could just get a bit of a punch on virtually, you know. LinkedIn. Okay, let's talk LinkedIn then. All right, let's talk LinkedIn.
But just quickly before you start on that, Susan did put a big thing down there about trust is a big thing. She said she's found people that she's invested money into changes as soon as you give the dollars. And I've seen that happen as well too. Once you sort of got your money, it's like, okay, now I've got you, you know, I don't have to give you much attention. So that's true also.
Well, yeah, I agree with that as well, right? Like the trust to hand over thousands of dollars these days to someone, or to even hundreds of dollars these days as well, right? Even that is a thing. And a lot of people are talking, okay, you just get people to buy online and all this type of stuff, transfer, you know, like grow your business just by an e-commerce type transaction thing. But there's still an element of trust that you've got to acquire to even, you know, acquire $7 or $10 or $15 or $20 or $100 or something like that. But you got to be able to create through your advertising campaigns. And what a lot of this is a big mistake actually people make. People expect to go straight out of the door with their advertising and be profitable day one. You know, they start with the wrong mindset at the start. When you got to think about it, right? Like you got to gain trust with somebody. And people have got to know you're in it for the long game, and more importantly, you're a man or a woman of your word, right? What you say you're going to do, you end up doing, and people start, and that's how you build a reputation, right? Reputation built on trust, integrity, and doing as you say that you would do. And you know, we all understand sometimes we have other things come up, and you know, from time to time we can say we'll do things and we forget and all that type of stuff. But what I'm saying here is like outside of that, being a person of integrity, being a person that actually will do as they say, right? So yeah, totally agree. Trust is so important.
Thank you, Susan. So back to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I mirrored you then.
Yes, you did.
Hanging around with you too much.
We've been hanging around way too much. Yeah, I know. Just all about.
Where's your mum? She hasn't turned up yet.
No, she hasn't. I'm disappointed.
I better tag her.
So let's talk LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn, I believe, you can target the people that you want on LinkedIn, but you just got to be really super more specific. And you got to look more job titles. So you've got to, I think with LinkedIn, you've got to be able to understand more so who is the person that you're looking to attract to your business, who's the person you want to target, and you've got to be more specific again over and above Facebook. So if you're targeting, say, specific types of corporates, say for example, and it's like a wellness program, or you know, you're selling, like a conversation I had with a guy today was he's selling mining equipment and trays for mining trucks and things like that, and he knows specifically the job title that makes the decisions, does the tendering and all that type of stuff as well. I believe that's exactly where LinkedIn can have so much more of an effect than any other platform, and that is Facebook and Instagram as well, providing you can hit a couple of elements. Number one, you're very succinct with your message, straight to the point. It's desirable and it hits on all those points. And number two, your offer is so irresistible, right, that you can really kick some ass with it and get straight to the point. But you've got to be really succinct when it comes to LinkedIn. So I don't agree with the fact of targeting and all that type of stuff and whatever else. And you can't target them, but you just got to be more specific with LinkedIn as well. And on the other hand, LinkedIn, I look as LinkedIn as like and this is the same, you know, this is just a different mindset. People go, who can I sell on, you know, who's my ideal client? Who can I connect with? Who can I sell? Who can I pitch? That's what the generalized person, general practitioner does on LinkedIn. I look as LinkedIn as another CRM. Okay. What is a CRM? It's a customer relationship management system, or take out the C, it's a relationship management system. So there's a couple of elements, I believe, with LinkedIn. Number one, you build a list. Okay. What people do with LinkedIn is they go, I am going to just, accept everybody and everyone. I'm going to build a massive network, blah, blah, blah. That's a generalist, right? Anyone adds them, they'll go, yep, cool, want that person. But the thing is with LinkedIn, right, you can build 200, 300, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 people who are the exact person that you are after in business. You can use things like Sales Navigator, and you can narrow it down to specific audience sizes, corporation sizes, revenue, all these little bits and pieces you can really narrow it down to. So I think you can be so much more specific with LinkedIn. And there's a heap of other little hacks and things like that to it, which are awesome, especially, even if you're just looking to get obviously started in business, it's a great area to start to build a list. But more importantly, over and above that, there is ways to be able to do it, but you've got to sort of transfer your strategy outside differently to what the average person is doing right now. So if you look at your DMs on LinkedIn and, what you've been pitched, you got to do the opposite to that.
Yeah. I find you just get tons of spam messages. Your interactivity level is less limited in comparison to other social media networks. And, a lot of people everyone says, oh, I just, what's the usual wording they said? I just saw we had a few things in common or a few friends in common and thought we should connect or whatever. And then that's it, and then what do? They wait for you to say, oh, yes, that's wonderful. And then, by the way, have you seen my blah, blah, blah? And, I just want to say WGAF, who gives a fuck? I don't even know who you are. And, as Susan said earlier on about the word trust, why would you be interested in someone if you haven't even got a comparison of a trust there? At least, on other social media, you get to watch them as they flow, through their posts, their pages, the information, things. I mean,
would you say, though, this is the same as someone spamming your own personal Facebook group, though, what we're talking about here, except now they're spamming your page.
But you don't have to accept them like that. You can see the message come through, and based on their message, you can pretty much, they're just spamming, so you just ignore them. It doesn't become attached or anything like that. But, and then see, you just made me forget what I was going to say then about, I lost my track on that.
Well, on that note, right, while you're thinking, I mean, you explain the same thing happens on Instagram these days as well, right? So there's the DMs, right? And people saying, I thought it'd be great to connect, all that type of stuff, using the same thing on Instagram these days too. So that'd be the same as Instagram. So it's now...
I get nothing on Instagram. I get nothing. All I get is your posts that you send to me.
15 that are probably sitting in there at the moment in my DM.
Oh, you must be more of a popular boy than me. And what I was going to say was in regards to building trust was like what, we've been doing over the last year and a half, where we put a lot of stuff out there and we do lives and we teach people things or whatever, and it's without an expected coming back or something. So when you deal with people who are like that, you're more inclined to want to have something to do with them, rather than just someone wants to meet you and say, hey, my name's Joe Blog, and listen, I do this for a business. How about I send you some information on it? That's the bit I hate the most with LinkedIn. So
happens all the time on IG. It's the same thing.
I'm lucky then.
We have to get you posting more regularly on Instagram so you can kind of do it as well. And then we're going to come back to this debate and see if it still is the same.
Yeah, I like the pictures in Instagram. I love that sort of stuff. That Pinterest used to be quite a lot like that as well, but people are pinning things. The only thing with the Pinterest, it's very hard for people to get information off Pinterest unless they're a member of Pinterest. You start going in, checking out their stuff, and they sort of want you to join. So they make it very hard to be interested in it. And Twitter is just a bunch of crap coming out of everyone's mind so they can all argue on there. So I don't have really anything to do with Twitter unless I want to release a bit of frustration. Then I go looking for something and release my frustration.
Here's one now. This is a link. This is the same as LinkedIn on Instagram. Hey, greetings from XX company. My name is S. His name is, and I run blah 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 media. We're a social media PR servicing. We found profile brands very attractive, and we'd like to offer you a premium service. Right?
For free?
Instagram growth, Wikipedia page creation, Google Knowledge Panel, press releases, Facebook verification, Instagram verification. Lemme, Lemme, let me know
Let me know.
if you're interested, so we can fix up a quick meeting. Bonus, we accept payments after service in articles.
Yeah, I like that. Let me.
Yes.
Are you gonna contact him?
No.
Yeah, why not gonna contact them?
Yeah, he hasn't even bought me a drink before he's asking me on a date, like, come on.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, back to Facebook. Facebook is number one.
LinkedIn. I don't know. Are we? We're still on LinkedIn. We're picking a fight over LinkedIn for a while there.
Well, no, I won that one. So it's basically, now we go back to why Facebook is the best out of all the lot for marketing.
Okay. All right. Does anyone think that me and Serena should fight live on Zoom here? Does anyone think that we should? Should we do it? I'm pulling the whole Grant Cardone and Jordan Belfort interview where Grant Cardone goes, what did he say? Do you think we should get in like a boxing match or something like that? We should go in the ring and rumble, cage match or something like that. Remember that? Did you see that?
Rumble? No, I didn't actually.
You challenged him to a fight.
No, that's why you're being so feisty. Sorry.
Probably the more cringeworthy episodes I've ever seen in my whole entire life between those two. It was very cringeworthy, that interview. Kind of
did it create any marketing outcome though? Like, do you think it would attract people to do business with them?
Yeah, well, it got a lot of PR and a lot of views, put it that way, because a lot of people were saying how stupid GC was. So.
Okay, yeah, but he seems to like that anyway. He had all that stuff talk about him over the tax and like he was closing down and sacking all his staff or whatever, and they were talking about whether that was a PR thing as well. I don't know if that damaged him or did him a lot better. I'm not too sure.
Who knows? Who knows? May have, may not have, but we'd just be speculating if that was the case. We wouldn't know the real thing behind it all. But okay, let's talk about Facebook then. You mentioned so. Why it's the best platform? You tell me why it's the best platform, and I'll see if I can fight you back for it.
Okay, well, because apart from all the bullshit that's been happening the last year, it's one of the places where it's virtually gathered nearly everybody all over the world to be part of it. I know a lot have left recently, but it's where people can get socialized, but then while they're being social, they get to see people's businesses as well too. You can market in front of people in every different place that they go to look. So if they're looking on someone's page, there's little things on the side or something that pops up. If they're searching for something, they put paid marketing in front of them, a little bit like they do on YouTube videos where they pop videos up at the beginning, which I bloody hate. But, so you've got so many different places that you can have something that relates to the person, but it's only going to be showing it to the people who are interested in what you've got by Facebook having perfected over the years to know who those people are by seeing what they search for, by perfecting what their interests are, everything they put on their Facebook, which if you don't want to be inundated with ads, is you don't put anything. By the groups they join, and there's so many groups and everything. So people live in Facebook to get information they need to grow for whatever reason they want to, except for some that just want to stay in touch with their families. So it's perfect to show information without being in their face,
Yeah, I think Instagram's great for that though as well. Like it's one of the most searched platforms now in terms of, searching for information about things and looking further into products and services and getting views of it all and things like that as well. The biggest thing with it, I love Instagram these days more than Facebook, is because you can get a lot more organic reach now. Facebook, you post on Facebook, you're lucky to get, a couple of hundred views on a video type thing if you don't have a huge following. But on Instagram, you can quite easily get it up to, 1,700, 1,800 views, 2,000 views, 1,000 views on video, just by using the platform's options that it's got there, especially where it's got up against TikTok recently as well with the new release of the Reels, which has been enforced now, I think, I don't know, 6, 8 months, 9 months, almost 12 months, something like that. So I think, like, if we talk paid marketing, they're both, I think, the same, right? They're both really good. But organic, I think Instagram shits all over Facebook.
Okay. For organic only though. So, yeah. So how much advertising are you doing on Instagram lately?
Well, we've got heaps going at the moment. Facebook and IG.
Yeah. And with the Facebook and the Instagram, is you saying the Facebook brings in the most? Sorry, the Instagram brings in the most?
Well, it's about the same at the moment from our marketing, if we're talking about ours.
Yeah, ours.
Yeah, it's about the same across the two platforms.
Hmm.
You got to bear in mind, Facebook's a bigger network than Instagram as well.
Yeah, that's true. Although they are connected as well. I was just thinking, it just popped into my head just then. So of course, you know, I say what I think. And hi, Mum, by the way, you're a bit late, so we're not impressed. She said, oops, that's Jared's mum we're talking about.
So late.
Yeah, we were talking about it before and she missed it all. But with what a lot of people probably don't realise as well is they're struggling through times now to get leads for their business, and actually then what do they do with the leads when they come? It's so easy for I guess for any social media, but because we do focus on Instagram and Facebook, to be able to set up a whole automation system that just continually runs on its own. So you guys don't even have to think about it. And this is one of the blessed things about this style of marketing, automation, is because once you get everything set up, all you then do is you just keep those ads plugging. And of course they have to be manipulated and retargeted and whatever to make sure it's going out to different styles of people. And then of course to really tone down how much it costs per lead. And then the leads just start to come in. And that's one of the things that, you know, blew me away when I first got into all of this, because I used to spend so much time boosting posts and writing posts and all that sort of stuff. And it's good to put that stuff on your Facebook or on your platform or whatever, but it's not, people just like and that's it. It's not actually bringing you the business. And some people would go out and buy 1,000 likes and then you get penalized for it, but it's not bringing you in the business. What brings you in the business, I've found out now, is paid advertising, but has to be paid advertising that is done properly. That to me is the biggest secret. Yeah,
I think I actually agree with you on this one. I'm going to back you up, right? Paid, like as great as, and look, I'm going to fight it both here, right? As much as I love paid advertising, I love free advertising, and there's so many elements to that you can create traction for your business by utilizing what the platform has available. And you can create virality out of it as well and get multiple views on your business really fast, quite quickly, organically as well, and a lot faster than paid advertising, but it's going to take you a lot of testing to get there.
Yeah.
It's going to take you a lot. You might get lucky on your first couple, right? But, you know, from what we find, normally a couple of 100 videos for one to go viral, you know? And it's all down to you've just picked this one thing and all of a sudden it's just gone straight up, you know. But paid advertising gives you a lot quicker returns, faster, but you just got to have a system in place. So this is where it all comes down to, is marketing really as simple as what people say it is? I mean, you can get results fast with paid marketing, but there's a big but.
Stop hitting my computer.
Yeah, just did more. Occasionally I can be a little bit childish, but I enjoy having fun. So the but is you must have a few things. Strategy. You got to have a strategy on what the start is, the platform you're going to use, what's the outcome, fill in the pieces in between. Number two, you got to have the right structures and foundations. And the reason why I say right structures and foundations, could you imagine what it would be like if you had, you know, like a cement foundation of a house, and then you had twigs sort of put around in the place of walls, twigs, and then you tried to put a tiled concrete roof on top of all these twigs and expecting it to hold, it's going to come down crashing really, really fast. So you need like the right foundational type pillars for your marketing to ensure a couple of things. To ensure that, number one, your cold prospecting side to your marketing is reaching new people every day and isn't overlapping with people who have already seen you, right? So you're capturing that element of new audience. Number two, you're capturing the people that were interested but haven't done anything and bringing them back through. Then number three, the people that have gone through, registered, done whatever it is, been accepted data for, they're being marketed to. The people that haven't taken action of the next outcome step. And then back end is those customers, clients, people that have taken action. How do you now take those people on, sell them to other services? What do you do to be in front of them? What the strategy is there? And these are the aspects that a lot of people don't realize with the foundational side, because, it's easy to say, slap it up, let's see how it goes. But these other things, right? This is why marketing isn't as simple as people say, because one element could be worth an additional 50% revenue. An extra 2 to 3, 4, 5, 10, depending on your budget, extra sales per month. One element of that is. Then from there, it's about like automation. It's about delivering towards outcomes. It's about service. It's about all these other sales, sales conversations, structuring sales conversations, sales systems, processes, outreach techniques, internally, manual as well as automated, right? And people look at it all these days and they go, I'm just going to put an ad up and see how we go. I'm going to throw a bit of money at it. This is where people just don't realize it's not as simple as people think it is. However, I'm going to say this. It's simple once it's set up. It's a lot more simple to manage. It's a lot more simple to tweak. It's a lot more simple to change a few little bits and pieces here and there and restructure, recalibrate, change things around. It's easier to do that type of stuff. And once you've got something that's converting like, crazy, right? Then that's when, it can be a set and forget for certain periods of time, but it's getting it to that point where you're ready to do that. And it does take a lot of energy and focus to get to that. It took me ages to work it all out by myself. So long, right? And when you got algorithm changes and you've got new updates and, the latest one is the iOS updates with Apple. You got to find new ways to track data coming through. There's always new things coming up and you got to learn those and adapt really quickly. And this is a lot of the time why you need to go to a specialist to go through and basically take care of the hard stuff for you, the harder stuff, which saves time, right? Spent mucking around trying to work it out yourself. And sometimes, for some people, it can take months to be able to build a funnel by themselves and build the strategy and all that type of stuff. Whereas, experts can get it done in a few weeks, even with, other elements of things they're doing for other people, right? And so on. So, having someone in your corner that can help you with this makes it so much easier. And you're not, wasting time just trying to work it out yourself.
Yeah, I did that a while back, wasted a lot of time. Well, no, I don't sort of really see it as wasting. I guess I learned a lot in the process, but it was wasting what could have been coming in on that time rather than waiting so long for it to happen, if that makes sense.
It does. And just imagine if someone had to just set that up for you at the start. It would have saved a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these little things, right? So it seems like a lot of work, and it is a lot to be able to set all of this up. But if you just have someone in your corner help you out with that, it makes it so much easier, right? There's all those steps that we spoke about today on the live. And for a lot of you as well, if you want to know a little bit more in depth into some of this stuff that we're talking about, right? We're happy to just talk about it all here live with you all as well. These different steps that you must utilize to be able to set yourself up properly with a proper digital strategy. And I'll tell you this right now, a lot of agencies, right, that you're probably speaking with or have spoken with in the past still won't understand a lot of this as well. Like, they understand the fundamentals of getting a lot of things up and running, but it's the strategic thinking to be able to turn something around when it's not working. And it's the knowing of how to actually go about structuring things correctly, so that, you know, when they're structured correctly, you can literally scale parts of it and add more ad spend without the prices of everything going through the roof. That's the trick.
I'm just going to post the information about the steps.
Okay, fantastic. So for all of you that have tuned in live, thanks so much for tuning in. We're practically getting towards the end, or we've actually gone overtime today, Serena.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap this one up for today. Thank you so much for tuning into the Marketing Funnel and Strategy Show today. And we look forward to getting you guys on next week. We're going to be live every Monday, every Friday. It's free, non-pitch strategy. We're going to be talking about marketing, different things around marketing. We're going to talk about sales. We're going to be debating things from time to time, and platforms, and the importance and the benefits of different platforms and things like that. And Serena and I are going to get in the box. We're actually going to get some boxing gloves next time, so then we can go whammy every time, you know, we win an argument or a debate or something as well. What do you think about that, Serena? You reckon we can get some boxing gloves?
I don't know if I like debating you sometimes, so it just depends. As long as I don't come out looking the idiot.
Not
I'd
really.
rather you.
You probably make me look like the idiot from time to time. I reckon we can do it bare hands even. Right?
I feel like your hand can just come straight through that screen. It's like...
Cool. Well, I'm glad we had a great time today anyway. And tune in Monday, 1:30 p.m. Western Australia time, right?
No, it's not. It's 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock? Why have I been saying 1:30?
Oh, Jared, please.
Beforehand. Should pick me up early. 1 o'clock Western Australia time. Every Monday, every Friday, same time. So if you guys want the motivation and the inspiration to be able to kick some goals next week, make sure you're on here, 1 o'clock Western Australia time. We're going to have a killer session for you next week as well. We'll think up some epic topics. If you guys want some things spoken about, let us know in the comments as well. If you're watching the replay, let us know that you're watching the replay, so that we can say hi and connect.
Don't forget, daylight saving changes in roughly 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind when people are looking at the time frame. That's why WA time just keeps it the same time. They'll know.
Yeah, we're always easy here in WA. It's easy for WA to understand their time, right? When you talk eastern states of Australia and most other places, they're always changing, except for Queensland, of course. Queensland are always on point.
Exactamento.
Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day and have a killer weekend. We'll see you Monday, 1 p.m. Be here, be square. And we'll
No, it's be there, be square.
Be there, be square. All right, be there or be square. Be there, be square. What do you guys think it is? Is it be there or be square, or is it be there, be square? Let me know in the
Be
comments.
there, be square. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.